You're listening to Linked AM. Tell your story on Linked Live and get noticed. You're listening to Karl Wolfenden on the Business Class Show and is not always affiliated with the guests and the topics discussed. Any financial statements are the opinions of the individual, and you should seek professional advice before making any decisions. Upgrade your listening to Business Class, the show that puts you in the big leather comfy seats. So sit back and enjoy our take on the trending business issues of the week.
Howdy, folks. Here he is, the Texas Brit, the guy with the stiff upper lip, filling his 10-gallon hat and his cowboy boots, Karl Wolfenden.
Good morning, and welcome to Linked AM here on Business Class News, BCN News as we're now called. Yes, we changed our little logo. Everyone kept calling us BCN, so we thought, you know what, we'll change it, and so we did. And that's why you're seeing a new look and feel to the website and to the organization. And what I've been sort of looking at for the past few months as such is how businesses need resources. And I'm proud to say, a couple of weeks ago, I had the executive director on, Terry Toomey of the Industry Hub. And we were talking about their new program that they're going to be launching later this year. And it kind of piqued my interest. And when we started talking about off mic, about what we could do maybe to help, they became a partner of ours in terms of one of the segments we're going to be doing. And that, of course, is a new segment called Business Sunrise. And we're going to be actually, highlighting and spotlighting businesses around the country, and specifically in the start with Grow DeSoto, which we talked about in the last segment. One of the things that I, as I say, realized when I started looking at what businesses needed was the lack of resources, or not the lack of resources, they're out there, but actually we just can't find them. And Terry, you're joining me today again. Thanks for being on the show. And had a great conversation last time, and I'm excited about Business Sunrise. We're going to be showcasing some of the businesses on in the marketplace in DeSoto, and I'm excited about that. So thanks for joining me this morning.
You're very welcome, and thank you for having me. And thank you for highlighting the Grow DeSoto Marketplace small business startups. And so we are an incubator, and then my role there is mentor, educator, and support network.
So when we were talking after our segment, because it kind of piqued my interest of what you're doing out there, and it really aligned with everything BCN News has been talking about for the last 8 years as such. And it was like that light bulb moment of going, wow, this is exactly what businesses need. And I was saying, well, the resources out there, and you went, excuse me, Karl, they are out there. We just need to find them. And that's what Industry Hub's focus is, isn't it?
Correct. I think that we watch the federal government and all the programs that the federal and state governments have. And what a lot of businesses don't know is that there's specific resources for small businesses. And it's through state governments and through the federal government. There's even a small business division in each of the federal agencies. And so they have programs. The problem is, nobody knows about the program, and they don't know how to access, or they don't even know what questions to ask. Here's an example. This past week, I got an invitation from Patent and Trademark about free classes that they're giving on, getting trademarks, understanding the difference between a copyright and a trademark and a patent. It's free training. But the number of people who knew about that were only the people on their distribution list. And so that's the weakness in the system, is the programs are out there and people don't know about them. So what we're going to do through the industry hub is, through creating our network, is make sure that we're educating librarians, we're educating chambers of commerce, because think about, all of the trees, the networks that you get involved in, and each of those nodes has their own communication system. They have their own people that they touch daily. And we want to get into those nodes and get the information out, because every time we reach a node, we're not reaching one person. We're reaching 20,000 people. And so that's the theory behind what we're doing, is to educate those people who control those nodes and make sure we educate them. We tell them where the programs are. We show them how to access the programs. And we keep building that because, at the federal level, the Small Business Administration, the Department of Commerce, the Department of Interior, the military, they all have small business programs.
So one of the things that you sort of, when Karl, I need to talk to you more about this, was when I started talking about the emails that we get in from businesses, people that are starting businesses, people that are established but they want to grow their business, etc. Yeah. And I'm seeing a lot more of the rural areas, saying, "Hey, I need help because I'm trying to grow my business here in this particular county or whatever." And then when I started talking about that, you started smiling because you realized that what I was hearing is exactly what you're hearing. So explain more about how rural areas really do need help.
Well, in rural communities, first of all, with this new broadband initiative, that'll bring those communities more in line with what happens in big cities. So in large cities, we've all had broadband for a long time. In rural communities, that's not happened. And so with this new broadband initiative, that'll bring them up on par with what we can access in the cities. So once we start our program, and we are focusing primarily on rural communities, because I think, and this is my personal viewpoint, if we can create a healthier economy in these smaller communities, people stay in their community. They build businesses in their community. It creates a more stable financial base for that community, and that adds to more businesses. So we stabilize the tax base, we keep young people and their talents at home, and we nurture them. And by our programs, what we would go in and find out what kind of training they need. So, in our program, we have segmented this out to entrepreneurs, startup businesses, businesses who have been in business less than 2 years, businesses who've been in business more than 5 years, and then when you're getting ready to sell your business. In every one of those areas, you require different kinds of skills. We're not offering degrees, we're offering skills. And so we're going to train them on what they need to know at their level of business. And at the same time, we'll go after the agencies to find out what programs they have that are going to support those businesses in the small community. So say U.S. Department of Agriculture, that seems to be a natural fit for rural communities. They have a lot of programs, but those folks don't know about them. So if we can create a relationship with USDA, then we can formalize those programs, bring them into those communities, train those librarians, train the chambers of commerce, offer communication programs that the USDA would do themselves, but through our program. And remember, our program is free to everybody. We're not going to be charging for that. And I think that's the other strength, is some of these communities are so poor that when those young people leave home, they don't come back. because they have to go where the jobs are. But we want to create the jobs at home. And so what we would do with all of these agencies, both state and federal, is find those programs, nurture those programs, educate those folks. And as we're educating them, we can spot where the need is for additional training. So if you're going to start, a program through USDA, well, USDA has certain requirements before you qualify to be in their program. So we can work with other folks who are doing that kind of training and maybe negotiate so that they're not being charged for the training, or we can do a subset of the training before they're ready to go on to that full-blown government contracting training. So we're going to be constantly responding to the need of the community and figure out how we can elevate what those individual small businesses bring to the table and make them more attractive for government contractors. And so it's a full holistic view of that small business, from getting them training, finding programs that are relevant to them, getting the specific training that qualifies them in that program, and then helping them get contracts. So it's that full from beginning to a revenue stream.
So what I like about that is that you actually, because you mentioned, businesses that are just starting, under 2 years, under 5 years, etc. Those you can actually move them step by step. Right. So that you're holding their hand all the way through. You become a true partner of that right. business as they grow. And the thing that I heard you say was that all of these rural communities as such need development, need that infrastructure, etc. Yeah, the broadband initiative is going to be huge because, as you say, that has been a sort of a disability for a lot of businesses because they've not been able to communicate, and they are at a disadvantage to the cities. But now that initiative's coming in, then that'll sort of ease that. But I remember doing road trips with my kids and my family, and I'd be going out either west or east in Texas, and I'd be driving through these really quaint little communities, and the shops were closed. They were just there was a movie theater that just was getting dust on it, and I'm like, this would be such a great place to live if all of these businesses were thriving, etc. But unfortunately, we're failing because, as you say, people were leaving. And if we can stop that, then we can build those economies in those communities and then make it stronger. And your program is going to do this. I love that about it. Yeah.
Well, and then there are other resources out there like SCORE, the Senior Corps of Retired Executives, the Small Business Development Center. Those are both SBDCs are funded by the federal government, and SCORE is partially funded by the federal government. But those are mentoring programs that are already available, and lots of people don't know about them. So we're going to create partnerships with all of these agencies that are already out there. The beauty of our program is we're not displacing anybody in the market. We're saying to everybody, come in and be our partner. And then the student, our client, is the beneficiary of all of that. So if you need a college education, go get a college education. But if you just need skills, that's what we're focusing on, is how to do things. And I would even challenge the colleges and universities, every one of your students should be in our program, because you teach them the theory and you teach them the mechanics, and we teach them how to put it to use.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I realized is that, again, that hands-on approach, the business person, because I speak to business people all the time, and they say, I'm so busy. I'm trying to sell my product. I'm trying to develop my product. I don't have time for finding all of these different things, because by the time I finish work, hey, I'm a employed person. I know how it is. I started right from the beginning, and I built my business up to where it is today. And I'm very proud of what we've done. But the problem was I was working till 10, 11, midnight just to get the business in place. I had no time. And when the time did come along, I wanted to be with my family. And so having a partner such as Industry Hub that can say, look, you focus on doing this. We're going to teach you how to do that in a structured way, get that process in place. And guess what? You can actually, have a life as well, because it is very stressful. And so therefore, we know we got to work hard. We all know that to get to where we need to be. But if you don't have partners and people that can help you get to where you are, then you just become in a vacuum, and sometimes you can just suffocate yourself. And it just it's not healthy for anybody.
Right. Well, and being a small business owner isn't for everybody. And it's very hard, as a mentor, I often will have people come in and say, yeah, I'm just tired of working for the man. I want to work for myself. And my attitude to that is, okay, let me give you some reality here. When you're a small business owner, you only eat what you kill. If you don't make a sale, you don't eat. And are you ready for that? Are you ready for that level of pressure? And are you ready for that level of commitment? Because being a small business owner is a 24/7 job.
It is. There's no getting away from it. There isn't. But the thing is, though, what you can teach them is that, yes, you can get to a position where you can start to delegate, but all that road to that point is very, very difficult, but you can show them how to get the roadmap in place so they can get to that place where they can either sell the business eventually, because you got to start planning for that, or grow the business. And when you're employing somebody, that is a big responsibility, and it's a big pressure. You're thinking, okay, I've got to hire this person, and then once you hire them, and they're performing, you have to do your bit as the owner of the business, and keep them, the taxes and all of that stuff. It's like, you go from being a sole proprietor to having people and W-2s and taxes and all that. That's a different.
Well, and I think as we nurture businesses, what I try and get people to focus on is, what do you love to do? Because those are the things you're going to keep for yourself to do. But all the things that you don't like to do, those are the things you need to hire other people to do for you. We're hoping that as we build this network, we will also build an internal referral system of business to business, so that, if you need an accountant, you can look at somebody who's in our network and hire from them, because you'll have an opportunity to either meet them at a meeting or, get to know them in a classroom kind of setting. But you learn more about the person that's going to be helping you with your business, rather than going cold and just, you interview somebody, but you start working with them and you don't really know them. And so we're kind of hoping that'll be an offshoot of what we're doing, is this, this huge network of small businesses, because that's what we're encouraging, is small business ownership and growth. And we want to encourage all of those small businesses who are in our network to network with everybody and get your products out there, get your services out there, so people can at least go to your website and begin checking you out.
That's fantastic. Terry, unfortunately, we're coming to the end of our segment again, but we're going to be continuing these conversations. Obviously, it's really, it's rolling forward. You've got everything. You're having great conversations. I'm now having interviews with on Business Sunrise with your clients as such, which we're really proud to be a partner with you guys on showcasing those clients. And as I say, I can't wait to have you back on, because I know we've got a lot more to talk about, haven't we?
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Terry. Of course, that was Terry Toomey, the executive director of the Industry Hub. And again, watch out for our feature Business Sunrise, because that, of course, is going to be spotlights on small businesses. And if you want to be showcased on Business Sunrise, just drop me an email, Karl@businessclassnews.com, and we'll connect with you and get you on the feature. So until the next time, as we always say, go out there. Make some money, because at the end of the day, if you're not making money, it's just a hobby, isn't it? So we want to make money. Go out there, be safe, and enjoy yourself. Have fun. Goodbye.